This is the Zoom PodTrack P8 podcast recorder. It is 6 microphone inputs, 6 headphone outputs, a phone input, a sound pad or multiple sound pads, and we're going to get into all of this. Onboard editing, you can record to an SD card. It's got those 6 inputs as you can see that I'm holding up right here. You can add phantom power if you have a condenser mic or a dynamic mic that maybe has an LED light that uses phantom power. You can click that over and use phantom power for this as well. I'm plugging in a traditional microphone here where it's got a traditional microphone cable, which is an XLR cable, which you can then plug into your Zoom PodTrack P8, and you're off and running. And you can get up to 6 microphones here. So if you've got a podcast with multiple people on it and you want to be able to do that with separate tracks and be able to edit that and make sure everything sounds as glorious as it should, you can do that right here. And this is just a fantastic unit. You can adjust the levels. As you can see, the levels are coming in there, and I'm going to demonstrate really quickly how that works for you. Just wanted to show you what a solid unit this is. I'm going to turn this around. At this point, you'll be able to see the inputs. Now, if you plug in your computer USB, as you'll see here on the back, it has a power in, right? But if you plug in your computer, as you can see right here, via USB, it's going to draw power from your computer, so you wouldn't need that external power, which is a nice thing as well. And as you can see, there's the SD card slot for you to be able to just pop that open, put in the SD card, be able to record locally onto what you've got. Sometimes it's great to just have backup audio and clean audio for you to be able to do that. So really quickly, I thought I would show you the unit that I've got right here in front of me and how I've got it set up. And you can see my voice, check, coming in right here. And if you wanted to make any adjustments on your voice right here, there's a limiter, there's a low cut, you can adjust the levels, and you can probably hear me getting a little bit louder, and then I'm going to roll it back to where I want to get it, to where it's in a good area, not too much, it's not clipping, although there is a limiter that will prevent that. You've got something that will adjust your voice. It's going to probably sound a little bit more trebly as I do that, right? And you slide it back to something that's no. And then there's a compressor and a de-esser, which will take off the sibilance of your voice and also add some compression to it. But you can always mute yourself. And that's a mute button. And then there's the sound pads. And this is an interesting thing here. You would adjust the level of the sound pads right here. And so if I hit this, and maybe you got an intro video for your hey, welcome to the show. And then you just want to dial it down, or if you have any sound effects. Yeah, cash register, whatever you've got sound effects, and you can program these. So if you want to do that, you just hit that button. It's real easy to be able to just touch these things like this. You can just program the stuff here. If you wanted to change up the banks, there's multiple banks here that you can have here. There's no file, but if I wanted to load a file, all you would have to do is do what I just did there. And now this is, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you. And in order to get back to your other banks, you can do that. So this is really a great unit. This is obviously where I plug in my headphones that I've got right here, so I can hear my own voice. I can hear the stuff that's coming in. And of course, if I've got it plugged into my computer, this would be coming back here on channel 6, and I can adjust the level of what I'm hearing back from any of my guests. And then the other thing, the last thing that I'll show you here is how you do this, which is if you have a caller maybe that's coming in, you get what's called a TRRS cable, and you want to plug this in here, and that would allow you then to bring in your phone and to make any phone calls that you wanted to make in or out. And it has what's called a mix minus built in, so that you don't get things slapping back in other people's ears, and it's a clean phone call. This also works very well for things like social audio apps like Clubhouse or something, Twitter Spaces, other things like that. So this is a fantastic unit. If you ever wanted to just record something yourself, there's manual record here, your USB out, and other things here to adjust. This is just a great unit that you can use as an interface to plug multiple things in. And for me, I always like to have more stuff than I might need, because you can always grow into something like this. So there you go.